Hi, Denim. Hi,
Hi.
Justin.
Hi,
So, would you guys mind introducing yourselves to the viewers?
Hi, my name is Denham Murphy.
and I'm Justin Cullinan.
And you guys helped organize the Black Lives Matter event, right?
hmm
So, what exactly is Black Lives Matter for the people who are watching?
Who should go first? Justin, do you want to start?
You can start, and I'll go after.
Okay. Black Lives Matter is a movement which has to do with like police brutality and racism. And yeah, it's going around social media. It's like not a trend. It's something that we wanted to bring to our community and share with our peers and our other people in air.
Yeah.
So, what did you say? Police duality? What was that?
Police brutality.
What is that?
So police brutality is this is kind of hard to okay. Police brutality is like, for example, if someone was to get like pulled over or something and they are a different color, like black, then maybe the police wouldn't be as nice to them as they would to be to someone who's maybe white or a lighter skin tone.
I get it. So, why is this happening now more than ever?
Justin?
Um, well, I guess what I would say to that is I wouldn't say it's happening more now. It's just, I'm sure people have heard the quote that it's just getting filmed. Like we're just hearing about it now because of social media. So it's been happening for a long, long time. We just haven't really heard about it. So, or at least like maybe white people haven't heard about it as much and aren't living it every day. So it's kind of just our job to help our, friends.
Yeah.
So, why are we not really hearing about it until really now?
I think that it's a touchy subject, and racism did change from 400 years ago. Like, we don't have to drink from different fountains, we can all go to the same schools. It's just kind of like hidden. So I think that we're hearing more about it because people have had enough with it.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, why did it start now? I mean, a long time ago, um, it was like really serious, and then like they took a break from really talking about it as much. And why is it like just starting over again?
I can say one thing. I guess it can be not generational, but our generation, I guess, is more open to having the uncomfortable conversations compared to maybe our um, adults and grandparents and things like that. So I think it's also kind of like a lot of the things that our generation and like the generation before us have started to really talk about more, even though you don't see it like, you don't see, you can't drink out of the same water fountain, something like that, but it's still things that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been going on for a long time. So, Denim, you're only 16 and you organized this whole event just with some of your friends. So, what was it like?
It was really stressful and it was like really quick. So we planned the whole thing in one night at like 1 a.m. So
Really?
like you would probably be asleep. But yeah, it took a month, but I think that it was really good to be able to do something and to do it with one of my best friends, Justin. I think was like really comforting to know that I have another person with me through the whole thing.
Yeah, I was really impressed by your speech, and part of it was really shocking because you said the N word, and my mom says I should never say that. And as a Black person, why are you allowed to say it, and why did you choose to say it?
So I chose to say it because I think that it's like a very loud word. It's this kind of scary word, right? And I do have the right to say it. I don't say it like a joking way. I don't use it like that. I think I used it because some of the people at my school used it to me and it wasn't really nice. And I wanted to make sure that people really heard and saw how I felt when people said it to me.
I get it. So, In school, you said you were teased really badly because of the color of your skin. What was it like? What was like that?
So it was hard because it was even, how old are you?
9?
Nine? Yeah. So I've got teased when I was 9, and I didn't know what to say because they were my best friends, right? So then it kept on going, and now I'm in high school and it kept on continuing. And I think now I have a voice and I'm old enough to be able to stand up for myself. And I think that I've had enough, my friends have had enough, and that we won't just be quiet and let people bully us anymore.
Did you say your best friends were teasing you?
Yeah. But so I think that because we were 9 and 10, that they didn't really know and they weren't really educated enough that those were not nice things to say.
Yeah, I get it. So how can my family help the Black community?
Justin?
Um, well, I also say what my family's doing since I am a mostly white family. So my family, we are signing petitions, going to marches, educating ourselves, not just by watching one news channel, actually like researching and doing like talking to our Black friends and family and talking to them about how they feel and what's been going on in history and things like that. We also, even the little things like posting things in our social media, we have a Black Lives Matter thing on my lawn to say like, you know, in this house, Black Lives Matter, like doesn't, you know, so yeah. And then Denim, what do you want to say?
I think like for you being 9 years old, if you do ever see someone getting bullied because of their race or bullied in general, I think that you seem like a really smart little girl and that you can do something and stop the bullying. And it seems like your parents educated you, so you can also help by educating your other friends.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, Justin said something about signing petitions. What does that mean?
So I can explain this, I guess, kind of quickly. So a lot of people online start petitions, which is basically a lot of the times it's justice for people or it's a petition to have a law go into place or something like that. And usually there'll be like a write-up as to what you're signing and agreeing to. And then you just sign your first and last name, usually asks like, I don't know, your phone number or something. And then you click sign this petition. And then it's kind of like you can share it with your friends and get people to know. And then whenever they reach their goal, say it's like 5,000 signatures, or like 5 million signatures, something like that. It's just something to, like, let's say they're going to go to state officials and be like, we want this law to be passed and 5 million people support us. Like, look at all these signatures. So that's kind of what signing a petition is for.
So it's kind of like if you have a field trip and your parents have to sign that off for you to go, that's kind of like what that is. So your parents can sign their signature, they give their information to show that they support the Black Lives Matter or whatever's happening.
That's a very simple way of putting it.
Yeah.
So it's like saying, I believe that Black Lives Matter and I think you should too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does a protest in a small town help?
I think a protest in a small town helps because a lot of people in this town sometimes don't see the racism and see the struggle that people like me have to go through because it's such a small town and there's not many people that look like me. So to get our voices out and to kind of show that this does happen at the high school, this does happen walking down the street, I think is like a really good thing to say.
Yeah, it's cool. Well, I was going to tell you, one time I was making artwork and I told my mom I wanted to say all lives matter, and she said it wasn't okay. Why is it not okay?
So right now is Black Lives Matter because as you can see, there's a lot of Black people getting killed and not being respected. All lives do matter, but right now the problem is that Black lives aren't mattering, and we have to make sure that we don't generalize everything because right now white lives do matter, they get treated right, and there's other minorities that do get treated right and aren't oppressed like us. So right now we need to make sure that we're talking about what's happening right now.
I get it. So even though like all lives do matter, like everybody should be treated equally, right now we're focusing on Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
So do you have any advice to kids about organizing events? Because you're only 16 and you did it. So Do you have any advice on how to do it if you're like young like me?
Justin, do you?
I'll go first, and then you can.
Okay.
This was great. Denim was the first one who like really like planned it. I just kind of helped her with it. But I've been doing small little events and protests and walkouts since seventh grade. So I shouldn't say I know what I'm doing, but I've done a few things like this before. So I would say just, I know it's so corny to say don't give up, but like really don't, because there are going to be a lot of people in power and adults and even kids your own age saying that you shouldn't do it or you can't do it because it's not going to change anything or it doesn't matter. But it does matter, especially if you have the right people surrounding you doing it. So I would say definitely don't give up. And even if someone says you can't do it, just do it because you know it's right.
Mhm. I agree with Justin. And I think that also you should use your parents because they know more than we do. Um, I know that we talk to some police officers, we talk to higher people of the town. You have to really use your connections, and then you can kind of seep your way in there, and then it's really you're independent by yourself.
So I have a question for you, Denim. In your speech, it really affected me and one of my best friends, Zoe, that you said you can't copy my hair and culture and music, but we think your hair is very beautiful. So why can't we copy it?
So there's a thing called cultural appropriation and then cultural appreciation. I know those are really big words. I didn't know what that meant at your age, but what it means is kind of you have to make sure that you appreciate my culture. So when you put braids in your hair, you have to remember that it came from my ancestors, right? And I think a lot of celebrities, like I don't know if you know her, like Kim Kardashian, those type of people up there, they like to take braids and make it their own and call them different things when really it was ours. So I think that the biggest thing is we, as a Black community, have to educate other white people, Asian people, Hispanic people that it's okay to wear our hair and dress like us, but you also have to remember that we started this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. But is it still like not good for a white person to wear cornrows?
Sorry, no, it's okay. Like you can wear whatever you want. It's only when you start taking it and make it your own. So what's your name again?
Scout?
Scout. So if you call them scout braids, right? They're really not scout braids. They're box braids. You know what I mean? So I think that we have to remember where they came
I get it.
from. Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering, one time at a protest, I wanted to write I can't breathe on my sign, and mom says as a white person it might not be very appropriate. Why is that?
Justin.
Um, I would say don't have I can't breathe on a sign if you're white, because that saying is from multiple different occasions, but recently it's with George Floyd, because when he was literally dying, he was saying I can't breathe. And since he was Black and that was his experience, for white people to say I can't breathe is not right, because we can, because we're not treated like that. So I guess that's the reason.
I get it. So, um, Denim, how have people responded to your speech, good and bad?
So there's a lot of people that were actually really good. I don't know if you heard, but we had 500 people there. So there was a lot of positivity, but then there was a lot of negativity from the older generation, saying like, you don't really experience racism. You don't know what that means. Being called a gorilla isn't really racist. Then there's some of my friends saying, well, not friends, sorry, some of my peers saying like, that never happened. I never saw that. And it's really hard because obviously I don't feel comfortable really bringing it up randomly in conversations. So I think that it was really positive, and then there's some negative, but sometimes the negative outweighs the positive in your mind because they're so loud being negative.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have hope for the future? Do you think it'll get better?
I do. I think that right now, I think our generation is really loud, that we won't be silent. I know in this community, the majority of high schoolers are very on board with the Black Lives Matter movement. And I think that in other states, countries, everywhere, that they don't want to just let this pass and keep on going. I think that we want to stop this right now.
I think so too. Thank you so much for coming on the show, both of you.
Thank you for having
us.
This was really helpful.